I want to welcome you back to our daily devotional with Dr. Walt Larimore, where we're talking about health and developing a healthy lifestyle. He's written a book, 10 Essentials for Healthy Living, and it's just a book. I hope that you'll get it because we're discussing some of the principles that are in that book, and we're going to move today into talking about relationships. And so, Walt, this is perhaps for men the most difficult thing because women seem to be better at developing relationships than guys. Maybe that's overgeneralizing it, but I think that's probably true. Tell me, where are some of the needs in men when it comes to relationships? Where do we fall short? What are we doing wrong? Why is it that we have such a tough time?
Yeah, well, I think sometimes that independent streak that we have tends to lead us to avoid relationships and can actually wreck relationships. I kind of think of family relationships in one sphere, and then relationships out of the family in another. So in those family relationships, for the men who are married, we know that married men have measurably better health than unmarried men.
That's interesting.
And a healthy marriage can amplify that effect. In other words, a man who invests in improving his marriage, which is a lifelong task, is a man who will improve his physical, his emotional, and his spiritual health. So investing in that marriage. For example, with Barb and I, that involves being sure that we spend time together. It involves going to some marriage conferences. Now, we've written marriage books, but we still go to marriage conferences. I remember we went to a marriage conference a few years back, and we got there a little bit late, so we sat on the back row. And then a couple came and sat down next to us. And I looked, and it was Dr. James Dobson and his wife, Shirley. And they've written how many marriage books? I said, what are you doing here? And Jim said, we go to marriage conferences because I work on investing in improving my marriage. So marriage health, your relationship with your children. If God's given you the blessing of having the gift of children, spending and investing time with them is critical. Nobody can replace a daddy's impact on his son and his daughter. Nobody. It's the most important impact on kids. When it comes to our non-marriage relationships, Sammy, I see that in three areas. One is, and we mentioned it last time, is having a mentor. Choosing someone who can be a coach and a guide for you. Maybe you meet once a month, once every 3 months, once a week, but having that mentor. Number two, having an accountability group of guys who are in the same stage of life you are. Maybe the same type of business, same type of family, but having that accountability group. And then having some guys you pour into, that you disciple, that are coming behind you. Men who do that, who emphasize those family relationships and those out of family relationships, have measurably better health. Does it take time? You bet, but it's critical to your health.
So there are three groups. Let's go over those three groups again with me outside the family relationship. There's the mentor relationship. There's those that you are mentoring. And then there's the accountability group.
That's right. That's the three.
Okay, I think that'll be helpful, and I want to encourage men to do that. If you don't have a group of guys that you meet with on a regular basis, I want to encourage you to seek out a group of men, maybe in your church, at work, some guys that you know that you can really share your heart with and be honest and transparent with, and that'll help you in developing your relationships.